Didn't see you there. Do you ever catch your mind wandering when you're riding your motorbike? I certainly do sometimes. You can be riding along and then snap out of the moment and be like, holy moly, I just wasn't concentrating at all then. It's easy to do. You're thinking, well, what am I going to make for dinner this evening? Or I wonder when that meeting for work is, how that's going to go. Our minds do wander a lot. Do you want to simply just enjoy your riding experience more? Do you want to get that ultimate freedom machine feeling from a motorcycle? Perhaps even you struggle with mental health problems, depression, anxiety. I know I do myself. Or maybe simply you just want to be safer on your motorcycle when you're riding it, and know at the back of your mind you're doing everything you can do to be as safe as possible. Now, we've all heard how being mindful or mindfulness is good for our mental health and can be beneficial for us. Now, if we put it in the context of a motorbike, being mindful is crucial, and it's a really good training ground to train your brain to be as mindful as possible, not only on a motorbike, but it also seeps into other aspects in your life. Before we get into the tips of how to be more mindful on your motorbike, first off, what is mindfulness? Well, mindfulness is basically taking notice of your surroundings and the present moment without being judgmental towards it. So it's literally just noticing, whether it be your surroundings, your thoughts, your sort of bodily feelings, whether you got an ache or you're tingling in your toes, whatever it may be in that current situation, is just noticing it without judgment, not seeing that it's a really bad thing if you've thought a certain thought, or any situation you have a feeling of something bad. It's just noticing and not judging as whether it's bad or good or anything like that. It is purely what is happening right now in the very moment. Just as a quick demonstration of mindfulness without the motorbike, which is there, we'll get onto motorbike in a bit. It's going to walk down into this beautiful, we're at a pub, beautiful pub garden overlooking a sort of playground, church in the distance, really nice sort of country scene. I'm going to walk down the steps, walk around the little garden, and just be as mindful as possible. And I'm going to run through what you can be mindful about in this little garden, and then we'll transfer it onto your motorbike. There's so much we can, a bit random being in the pub here, but it's a nice area, it's got a nice view, I like it, so why not? Don't have to be drinking alcohol. There's so much you can be mindful of, even just in this little garden here. For instance, lovely blue umbrella behind me, flapping in the wind. Just bringing your concentration away from being stuck inside your head to your external surroundings. The texture of the stone wall here is, I always find that really good, like old wood or a stone wall, or the texture of materials outside I find very nice to be sort of mindful about. And this may sound a bit strange, but it's really good to practice this. And when you transfer it to the motorbike, it really helps. The grass, what's the grass like? Is it wet? What's it like underfoot? All sorts. There's so many opportunities out in nature. The flowers, the trees, the wind in the trees, the colour of the flowers. Just standing and listening to the birds. There's a squeaky swing down in the playground down in there, I can hear that. All of this, just little techniques, just a bit of an example to be mindful. So first tip number one, before you even get on the bike, as you walk out to your motorbike, sounds simple, but really notice your bike. And as you should really be doing anyway, but do a full walk around of your bike. That's what I like to do. Check the tyres, feel the tyres for any, if you've got any pieces of glass or debris in the tyres that may cause a puncture. Check your chain, is it lubed right? Is it too dry? Is it too greasy? Is it dirty? Does it need a clean? Really have a look and really concentrate on those things. Does the bike need a clean? Look over the bike, how clean is it? Look in the real sort of nooks and crannies in the engine, any little dirty bits in there that you could potentially clean up. You could check your oil level. Really concentrate on that oil, looking through the glass. Maybe the glass needs a bit of a clean. All of these small little things on your bike you can do a once around every time before you start riding, to really sort of bring your focus on the motorbike and sort of out of your own head, so you're preparing for your ride. Once you've had a walk around of your bike, check the tyres, the chain, seen how clean it is, all the sort of some nooks and crannies in here. Just really concentrate. There's so much textures, especially I love these grips and on here. There's so much. The paintwork, really take in the paintwork of the bike as well. But the next step, what I like to do is when we're fully aware and mindful of our bike, is hop on, bring your kickstand up mindfully, and when you sit on the bike, feel the suspension just sitting down. Immediately you grab the handlebars, feel the grips. So sort of, are they slippery, grippy, the width of the grips? I've added these like wraps on here, so they're slightly more there's more width to them, more to grip onto, so to speak. Also, you can feel the seat. How cushiony is it? Is there a lot of give in it? Is it really or is it quite a hard seat? Is it a wide seat, a thin seat? Really feel the bike, sort of really feel sitting on it. Feel the suspension being ready for you to go. Get your leg up on the pegs. Notice the position of your legs. I'm sort of slight forward foot pegs here. Not completely forward, not mid, sort of mid to forward. And then check out your sort of cockpit riding area. So I've got an old school analog dial here with a bit of a digital in the middle. Looking good. I'm checking my wing mirrors. Check that they're positioned rightly. I like to see sort of just the edge of my elbow there. Seems to be the right position for me here. And then moving on to the next step, we're getting ready to start her up. Okay guys, so you may notice we're in a bit of a different spot here. Change of scenery, another chance to be mindful. Pub was getting a bit busy back there, so had to move spot. Needed the space, the cars were coming in. But we're in a beautiful, outside a really nice like 5-star hotel, outside of a lovely English country town called Freshford in Somerset. Beautiful, beautiful little town. So moving on to the starting up of the bike. Once you feel grounded, you're feeling connected to the bike, you're being mindful of everything you can. We've done our walk around, we've felt our grips, our seat. The special time's arrived to start her up. So on my bike, the ignition's down here. You turn the key. I'm being mindful of the lights popping up on the dial here. The analog, I love that. The analog needle as you turn the ignition on. And then I like this bit. As I turn the ignition on, you can just hear the ignition kick into gear, that electrical noise. Oh, there she is. And now we're ready to go. Next step, clutch in. My clutch feels a little bit loose actually. Definitely need to tighten that. Being mindful of the clutch in, and then when we start the engine, I'm going to start the engine, and then I like to just close my eyes. Not every time, because it can be a bit strange if people are watching, but close my eyes and just sit here for 10 to 20 seconds or so and just listen to the exhaust. Focus on the exhaust, focus on the feelings I'm getting through the saddle, through the seat, through the handlebars, any vibrations. Maybe give her a bit of a rev so I can feel the engine as time goes by after a few seconds, warming up and just calming down. The RPM's dropping a bit, slower throws with the piston, the RPM, a bit more of a throaty bark from the exhaust. I'm getting some slight vibes through the handlebars, not a lot, quite nice to be honest. Not much through the seat at all on this Speedmaster. Feel the wind, where there's not much wind today, it's boiling hot, but feel the heat. Any sensations? And then as we set off to ride, clunker into gear. What type of noise do you get when you go into gear? On mine, it's quite a nice reassuring clunk, and then we're off. After that wonderful coffee stop there, one of the first things I like to be mindful of when I first start off riding, so I just spotted a lady on her phone there, which was always a little bit annoying when you're on a bike, is the weather. What's the weather conditions like? It's always a great opportunity to focus the mind and just be aware of how your ride's going to be to start off with, which could affect road conditions, the temperature, what are you going to wear. Today obviously the sun has come out and blessed us, and I can just feel the warmth, although a little bit of fresh air on my face, so I am cooling down a bit. I've got summer gloves on, so I can feel the cool air coming through the summer gloves even at this low speed. Even so, I'm trying to feel that warm temperature on my face from the sun, and actually I'm quite hot. Got a backpack on, got a quite a big jacket on here, but if you become more aware of that heat, it sort of seems to dissipate, because you just want to feel it for what it is. You're not judging it or anything, so I can actually feel it. It's not really bothering me, to be honest. Along with that, keep an eye out for the wind. Always a good one to tell. Stinging nettles blowing in the wind, or the leaves in the trees blowing in the wind. Always easy. But you can do this any weather conditions, whether it's cold, raining, in the winter, anytime. It's almost easier the more extreme the weather conditions, but it's a really good one. Start your ride on, I think, because it gives you a sort of idea of what the rest of your ride's going to be with the weather. So another tip, and this is a really good one actually, I find this one of the easier ones to do, is just concentrate on the revs of your engine on the bike and your RPM. So I've got a little digital tack down here that shows me the RPM. To be honest, don't even look at that, just experiment. I find the easiest bit to do is just roll on, just feel your engine, get to know your engine and what it's like at different RPM. Got a 1200cc parallel twin here, and it's got a fair amount of torque. It's not a revvy engine, it's all about that cruiser torque, you know, nice and relaxed. So there's a lovely exhaust note that comes from the exhaust, nice burbling, and I wouldn't describe it as a vibration, it's more of a pulse that comes through the seat and the handlebars, which is really nice. And then when the revs build, obviously the RPMs are higher, so it becomes more of a faster, not vibe, that's not a right word because that's often perceived as negative, but a faster pulse, shall we say, as the revs build. And then obviously the beautiful thing about cruisers is keeping those revs nice and low and just keeping it in that torque band, so you can just feel the pulsing, feel the best exhaust notes from the exhaust. Really play with your rev range on your motorbike and be mindful and aware as much as you can of how the bike feels and how it responds at different revs. Great one to do. Just waiting for this red light. Little bonus tip is when you're stopped at lights like this, if you want, turn the engine off. If you feel confident that your bike will turn back on, that is a good thing to know. And then all of a sudden it just changes the scene so much. Suddenly you haven't got your engine of the bike going, you can hear the other cars, you can hear the wind in the trees. It's just a different vibe. It's sort of, I find it sort of wakes your brain up a bit to be able to be more in the present moment, and it makes it easier waiting for the bloody lights to go green. And last tip to help you stay mindful, and this was last but very much not least, possibly one of the most important for staying safe on the road anyway, and improving your riding, is basically giving yourself a running commentary of everything that's going on around you in terms of other vehicles, potential hazards in the road, and things like that. First off, that's just like great riding etiquette and skill to do that anyway, and I'm sure lots of people do that anyway without actually realise that that's basically a form of mindfulness. You're being right in the moment and concentrating on exactly what is going on around you quite intensely. It's a really, really good form of mindfulness and to keep you safe and a good rider. So just an example, this car here, he's got his indicator on left, but you never know, he might just hang a right there, so I'm just being aware of that. Are there any cars behind me? Yeah, there's a Mercedes, he's creeping up a bit, so I'll just keep an eye on him, keep my speed steady. There's a jogger there with the car coming towards her, a couple of cars parked on the left here. Anybody opening the doors? No, we're all good. There's a junction up on the right here to the university. Cars pulling out of there, be aware of that. May have some younger drivers, less inexperienced. Sorry if that's rude to the younger drivers, but it's a point. Junction up here. Yeah, sharp right hand and a junction coming out. This white car's indicating this way. Yeah, he's gone for it. That's all right. We'll just slow down a bit. Watch the beamer. And we're through. Constantly, you get the idea, coming into a 20, so slow down a little bit here. You get the idea, it's constantly just doing that running commentary and practicing that so that you perfect it, and that is very much a mindfulness technique. Okay guys, there you have it. What was that, 5, 6 ways? I can't quite remember. Anyway, a few tips. I think it was 5 with one bonus one, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 ways with a bonus way of how to be mindful whilst motorcycle riding. I hope that was helpful. Yeah, I recommend going out as a task for yourself, just to sort of go out and practice it, whether you're feeling bad mentally or whether you're not, whether you just want to improve your riding and just find your riding more enjoyable and involving. I find it helps me anyway, and it's a good practice generally just to do in life, isn't it? Just to be good at mindfulness and be more present and in the moment. I'm certainly practice it as much as possible, and still do very much so actually. Suffer from anxiety quite a lot. Social anxiety is quite a big thing for me. I don't really like admitting it, but yeah, that's a big part of it. So yeah, mindfulness is quite an important thing to me, and I practice it as much as possible, so try it yourselves as well. I'm not telling you to try it, but yeah, give it a go if you want. It's really good. It does help a lot. Anyway, yeah, to finish off the vlog, I've walked up this beautiful hill above the city of Bath in Somerset to yeah, just soak up the scenery and practice a little bit more mindfulness to finish the vid for a lovely view for you guys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope most of that video made sense and can be useful to some of you guys out there to yeah, experiment and try the mindfulness thing. Why not? It's there and free to do for everyone. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you like. I always find that corny saying, but yeah, go for it. Many more vids to come. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Ciao Bella.